G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Before I start, why am I choking on my own spit? Uh, it's Thanksgiving. Well, it's Black Friday today. It was Thanksgiving yesterday. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrates that. I think it's just a US thing. I'm Australian, so I'm pretty new to Thanksgiving. I wouldn't say new. I think I've been doing it for 8 years? But however long I've been with Steve married here. 8 years. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 8 years. So I guess I'm new-ish, but we celebrate it in get together, friends and family, chosen family, eat, share gratitude, one of those types of celebrations. And I think it's a really beautiful thing, actually, to share gratitude with everyone. But I know a lot of people are really keen on Thanksgiving for all the sales. And I do want to mention that I'm running a sale that I never really run. I don't even know if I've ever done this before, but I've just done a clean 25% off everything on Etsy. So if you want anything from my store, now would be the time to purchase it over the weekend. I think that I'm ending the sale on Monday, so I can get everything packed up and shipped out next week. So if you want to see that, I'll link in the description box below. There's no coupon code or anything. It's all just discounted as is. So pop it in your cart, check out, 25% is already off. So happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, happy Cyber Monday, happy all the different days that we've dedicated to different sales that really we just run because it's before Christmas and everyone's probably shopping this weekend for everyone's Christmas presents. I actually did mine earlier. They start running these Black Friday sales like last week. So I started some of my shopping back then. Don't tell Steve. The post I made on Instagram was 20 photos of a carousel that was just all the things I was thankful for as I sat in my house and just looked around the room. So I wanted to go through a couple of those with you because one of them is you. So I wanted to make sure that I at least touched on that whilst I had you with me in the studio. For today, I was obviously grateful for more art supplies than I could ever possibly imagine having owned at any point in my life. Every time I look around and I see everything, it's just not lost on me that this is more than one person needs, but also such an extensive, expensive collection of art supplies that I feel very, very grateful to have and, put through their paces. I really do love to use everything. I have a whole box of empty art supplies, which is something that is bittersweet. I don't like when they run out, but I love that I've loved them so much that they've run out. And I asked Steve for Christmas, sorry, allergy season, 'tis the season. I'm trying to avoid a sneezing fit. I asked Steve for Christmas for a huge vase. I want like it doesn't have to be a good shape, but maybe just a cylinder, but really big, like huge. And I want to fill it with all of my empty art supplies. So it becomes this kind of centerpiece of things I've loved to death. My big collection of journals up there, love that. I want an art journal library whenever I can figure that out for my life. I don't know if I put photo frames in the post, but I was thankful for photos. Photos, my house is filled with, photos of my family, photos of my favorite memories. Nostalgia is my favorite emotion. So having my memories visually on display is the best thing for me. But also the artwork around the house, like even up there in the living room above the television, that's Steve's photo. They're photos and they're things that Steve and I have created for ourselves, for each other, for different holidays and occasions. And I really love that. I love that personal touch of just knowing that our hand has been in everything that is displayed around the house. It just feels very special. So I love that. I love my Christmas decorations too. I keep adding some things every year. I pull some things away, some things break and they've got to go. But we're at a really good space with Christmas decorations. I don't really need more. I'm at a happy place where if I find something that looks like it should fit and I feel like I have the money to spend on it, then I will just add that to the collection. But this year it was photo frames. I went to the thrift store and spent $30 on photo frames and just made a whole bunch of pictures. I printed them out on my home printer too, like nothing special. Sorry, I'm gonna blow my nose for 1 second. I can hear myself getting nasal. Australian. So I got all these photo frames and just printed pictures, and now I've got more photos of my family everywhere to make me happy and to make me homesick. The cats, Steve, obvious reasons. Very thankful to have a supportive partner, someone to go through life with. That's always fun. Coffee, A lot of these are self-explanatory. The semaglutide, I was very happy that it gave me the boost right towards the end of my health journey. I think I'm good to go natural from now, so I'm finishing the semaglutide journey. No more Ozempic for me, not now anyway. If things go haywire, I might have to microdose, but I'm not quite sure. I probably shouldn't do that without the advice of a trained medical professional. Dancing, I'm never not grateful for that. I'm never not grateful. Yeah, that's right. Double negative. New opportunities, my car. I love being able to zip around everywhere. I really do. Steve's photography. I would love to take more advantage of that. We are doing our Christmas cards tomorrow, so I'm very excited to share that with you. There's been a lot that I put into these Christmas cards this year, so I'm really fingers crossed that the payoff is worth it. You know, sometimes you put a lot of effort into something and it's high effort, low reward. That's not what I want. I want high effort, extremely high payoff and reward. So fingers crossed for that. I have a tradition that I do with my sister. She lives in Australia and she has a young family. And I felt like when she was starting to have Christmases at her own home with her own little family, I felt like it was a little bare, just because it's one of those things like, you know, when you move houses, you move apartments, or you're moving out for the first time, you have no condiments, you have no cleaning supplies, you have all of these things you have to purchase, and then you realize, wow, it's so expensive to set up a home. And then you get to a holiday and you're like, oh, I just take for granted that my family have done Christmas all this time. Like, I actually don't own anything Christmassy, so what am I going to do for Christmas decorations? So I started buying her Christmas decorations so she could decorate her home and make it feel like a little bit more robust, like our Christmases growing up, and she could do that for her family. But each year I also get her an ornament that matches my Christmas tree ornament. So usually I'll go to Target, because Target have some really beautiful ones. They're getting a little lackluster over the years, but I have found some good ones. Like, there's just some hidden gems in there. But I have these 2 pink deer. She has the 2 pink deer as well. We have I can't tell you some of them because she doesn't have them yet. I didn't send a package last year, so there's a couple that are still here with me that she's going to get this year if I can scrounge up the money to send a package. It is so expensive to send a package from here to Australia. Like, I think the last time I sent it was $180 in postage, which is insane. And it wasn't even heavy. It was just like a standard size box. So insane. So anyway, I've been saving a bunch of stuff so I could send it all at once and not, you know, have to make multiple mails. But yeah, we do a Christmas tree tradition. So every time I look at this ornaments that I know we share, I think of her, and it's just really sweet. My printer, love my printer. Canon IP8720. I usually link that in my Collage Club videos if you're ever trying to look for that link. Friends and family, never not grateful for that either. And Kath and Kim, because it still makes me laugh after all these years. And also you. That's what I wanted to get to. After all the 20 photos, I was meant to journal this in this video. Sorry, I didn't get around to that. I'll do that again. I'll do some journaling soon. I don't know. I've got a very busy day today. And I've got to get this to you before I go dancing at Knott's Berry Farm tonight. This afternoon, actually, we have a pretty early call time. We have a tree lighting ceremony that happens at 5:15. We usually get to work about an hour before the first show. So, and I live pretty close. You never know with traffic. Anyway, all that to say, you are the last person, the last slide in my carousel of photos. And I know I mentioned it over there, but I thought, well, since I have my face and my voice, I wanted to say it at least to you. From me to you, thank you so much for being here. My gratitude is always something I feel like very important to show. And I actually have this, well, I don't want to go on too much of a rant. I feel like gratitude is something that, you know, is really easy to say and a little bit more effort to show. And I have always been someone that responded better to people showing gratitude, to being able to, I guess, kind of tangibly see the gratitude in the way that people express it. And I'm grateful for many, many things, but very specifically the gratitude I have for being able to have made this a business and therefore, you know, a little career for myself, a little full-time job, just to be able to support myself in this life. That is something that I've never felt ungrateful for. And I've always felt like the best thing for me to show how grateful I am is to constantly give back in the way that I feel like people would want to be given back to. And so I made these kind of promises to myself years ago that I would keep content really accessible, that, you know, even though I probably could just disappear into Patreon, or I could just go into my workshops and never go on YouTube again, like, and it's not a great idea, I don't think, but you know, you can make these decisions. There's nothing wrong with making these decisions, but I always felt like, since this was how it all started, and this is what afforded me the luxury that it is to be able to have your passion be your job, I feel like my gratitude should be to keep pouring back into that. You know, the very humble beginnings that it was, just being here on YouTube with you, sharing on social media, posting on Instagram, you know, sharing all the things that I love, and sharing the things that I like to create, teaching you those things, giving you an inside look into things, sharing my thoughts. Like, I always just felt like I had to keep doing that. And if I could make the effort every week, even the weeks that I felt like it was terrible to do it and I didn't want to do it and I felt like I had so much else to do, excuse me, I felt like that was a really great way to show that I was grateful that I would make that effort. And it is an effort. Even when you enjoy something, there's still a lot of effort to making sure that I am filming it properly, that the files aren't corrupted, that the videos get edited, that you make the thumbnails, that you share them on social media, that I pay for the licensing for the music, that I pay for the workshop hosting. Like when I do Merry Mixed Media workshops, that's another way I like to show my gratitude towards the end of the year. I'm probably shouldn't just keep it for the end of the year. I mean, I know YouTube's all year round, but I guess it's the season that we all just get really grateful towards the end of the year, Thanksgiving and all. But I really do hope that you see that gratitude, and that you see that it is really important for me to make the effort and to make sure that it's not something I get really lackluster about, that I don't want to, you know, that I feel like it's a burden or anything, or that I make you feel like you're burdening me by wanting content, or wanting to see videos, or wanting to learn something, or asking questions that I can answer. Like, I feel a very big, important sense of responsibility to making sure that, for as long as I'm doing this, that really key for me is to making sure that I show up for you often and in a way that you can access it without having to pay for it. It's something that I benefited from when I first fell into art journaling, and that's why I think I feel so passionately about it, because I just wasn't in a place where I was going to invest money into it. Even sometimes when I had the money to invest into it, I feel like even then, I mean, I didn't know if I was really going to go down that rabbit hole. So I just really enjoyed a lot of free content. I really loved coming to YouTube and seeing what people were doing and what they were enjoying, and getting an honest review from someone, you know, someone that wasn't paid, someone that used their own money to buy something and was like, no, I don't really like it. It doesn't work that good. Or, yeah, I love it. I would buy it again. I just feel like I'll always bring myself back to that place, because that is where I truly benefited from. And, you know, the landscape looks really different now to what it used to look like. There's not, you know, I think some people that really got a lot from the platform started to see the shifts in the way that things were monetized, and, you know, the incentives that might have been there before aren't there anymore. Certainly I have noticed a drop in viewership, and that's not like YouTube's fault. That could just be my fault for not making interesting videos. But for whatever reason it is, I still am lucky enough to be calling it my job at this point. And I do always feel like this is where I need to make my effort, to make sure that I'm always around, to make sure that I'm still available, to make sure that I still share with you in a way that you can come and see it often, and, you know, spend some time with me. So that is the way I like to share my gratitude with you. And then Merry Mixed Media towards the end of the year, which I'm still working on. So give me a hot minute with that one. And yeah, but I am really grateful, and I don't want to go without saying directly from my face to you, thank you so much for allowing me all of that, because I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't doing it. Especially these last, you know, 8 years, ever since I moved here. I mean, it was really the thing that kept me going, it kept me focused, it kept me housed and clothed and fed. Like, it was such an unexpected and unknown journey to be on. And some of you have been here for that entire period and have watched it all unfold, and others I've found along the way. Some people come in and leave and then come back. I'm just thankful for whatever part you had to play in it, because I truly couldn't have done it myself. If I could have, I would have. It might be easier actually if there was some way for me to control it all, but it really does depend on people being around and liking things and showing up and joining workshops or just watching videos, buying things through Amazon affiliate links. Like, there's such an intricate network of how it all exists and how I've been able to make it my full-time job. But I am very thankful for it. I'm very grateful. So thank you so much. That will be my Thanksgiving Day speech for 2024. The other thing I have to share with you, which you probably see on screen at some point, is my DecoJournal is here. It's ready. I've got my little advent calendar in here. You'll see this at the end of the video. The sirens are coming. Go away. It's such a pleasant day too. I don't know why something would be on fire. I'm just going to let it pass. I'm going to use this opportunity to blow my nose. Okay. That's probably why my reviews are down, because I'm sick. I'm gross. No, I don't know, actually. I'm not going to go on that rant. Rant? Conversation. I was going to discuss it. I thought maybe people would have some good ideas. If you have any good ideas, let me know for videos that you might like. I still pretty much do whatever I feel like I want to do. There is longevity in that. I think I can say that years and years and years later. I think there is definitely longevity to doing things that you enjoy doing and sharing that. It may not be the most interesting thing every single week, but I have managed to show up every single week, so that's great. The DecoJournal is a pre-decorated journal. I've used one of these before in one of my workshops. It was black and white, but all of these pages are pre-decorated, and I hand drew every single one of them. Not in your book, obviously it will be printed, but I was just having a love affair with my pencils, and I started drawing them out, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna make this like gift wrap, in kind of wrapping paper patterns, and I just freehanded them all and just thought them up as I went along. Some of them have names, and some of them are inspired by certain things. Like there's a page that has wattle, or what I think is wattle, and then these remind me of those lights, the Christmas lights that have the cotton wrapped around them that we had on my Christmas tree, and they smell so specific. I cannot get over the fact that when I look at this, I think of that, and I think of the smell of those lights, and the wattle. So this is like my little Australian page. I love, one of my favorites is, this looks very nautical, especially with the navy and the stripes over here, but this here looks like the ship registry flags, or whatever they're called. And they look like baubles as well. So I called this Nautical Barbicles, which is a super fun name to say. There's a Grinch fur one too. I really like this double spread too. Grinch fur, this one. It's kind of Christmas tree, foliage, but it's Grinch fur. So that is my DecoJournal. They are $10 US. I don't know what they're priced in other Amazon marketplaces. I just rounded the number off. I think it might be $10 in Canada as well. So maybe it's cheaper to buy it in Canada. That'd be the only time the Canadians win with the currency conversion. I hear a lot of Canadian people get mad about the currency or the imports. Anyway, that's just how it works with Amazon. I can set it available to all the different Amazons around the world, but the prices, I don't really understand. I'm not going to make it a direct, like if it's $10 US, it has to be 13.47 Australian dollars. I usually just round it off and make it really affordable. It's such a low profit margin. These are not something I do to make $1 million. I mean, I'd love to sell 1 million of them, but realistically, there's going to be 6 people out there that do want this. So just to let you know that it is available, I'll link it in the description box below. This is my Christmas journal this year. And if you don't know why I do DecoJournals, it's just pre-decorated. It is so much easier to be able to stick my stuff on top of this. If I feel like drawing something, I'll most likely draw it on a loose sheet of paper and glue it in, or I'll draw it in a different journal. But I don't get a ton of time to be doing a lot of just art, throughout the season. So it's a lot of ephemera, it's a lot of photos, a lot of packaging, gift wrap, postage, what are they called? Stamps, postal stamps from different Christmas cards. So a lot of that stuff is kind of what fills up these journals. And to have a pre-decorated background is just a nice way to get it all going and not feel like I'm watching the season fly by and I've done nothing. So I'm excited to work with this. This is not the first idea I had for these Christmas ones originally, and I might come back to this at some point, but I just didn't have the time to do this idea specifically. The one I wanted to do was inspired by Christmas movies, like a bunch of my favorites, and so one of the pages just had Kevin written out really big, like it was being screamed, and then another page was, have you seen the Santa Claus where when the Santa falls off the roof, he has a business card, and then right around the edge it says, it's the clause, you know, if Santa falls and you put on his suit, you become the new Santa Claus. So I had that as a double page spread with the border had the clause written around it. It was just simple, very cute ideas like that, but those ones I needed a lot more time. And there was another one I was going to do that was based off of the Dr. Seuss Grinch illustrations that was all red, black and white cross hatching, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought visually what I'm seeing once I put my ephemera and my stuff on this is like pages with some random scribbles peeking out. I thought that wouldn't work very well. One of the Christmas journals I did, which wasn't really, I mean, it's Christmas, but it was a deco journal. It was a trip that I took home to Australia and I did family photos. And so those I actually kept a lot of the background visible wherever the family were in the photo, and I loved that one. Obviously, no one's going to want to buy that. That was just for me, but I bought a bunch for my family as well, and they had those to journal in if they felt like it. I think my mum just kept it because it looked like nice photos in a book, but very excited to have this. Super colorful, all hand-drawn. It feels very art journal-y because of the hand-illustrated nature of it, but it's super thin too. I think it's 26 pages. Which means I can bulk it up. Like, it's super thin and it's great for adding your ephemera in. You don't want a super thick journal. I did want to do it hardcover. I know I mentioned that. Unfortunately, on the Amazon self-publishing, for the hardcover option, the page count for minimum pages is 75, which I think worked when I did the Daisy Ween one because I had a prompt and then the page on the back was blank, and then the next page had a prompt and the page was blank on the back, and that was 31 prompts with like a couple of intro pages and an outro or whatever, and so technically those counted as 2 pages. So with the 31 prompts, it was 62 pages just there, and so it actually managed to work. Which, I mean, I've used one of those Daisy Weens as a journal before, and I did put ephemera in there. I used it for my mermaid one, the hardcover, and it did work out really well. So I think I can do it in the future. I just would need 75 pages of illustrations, which, as it were, 26 were a mission to get through. So perhaps it's something I'll work on over time, or, you know, I could double things up or change colors. But also I've got my whole back catalog of Collage Club, excuse me. So I guess I could just go through that and find some other great backgrounds. For now, I'm not worried. I have this. This will be my 2024 Christmas journal. I have 3 of them. Amazon, you can order, like, because I made them, I could order author copies. So I ordered 2 of those November 15th. Taking ages, they weren't coming. I was like, they still say they're being made because they're kind of made to order. And then when I went back onto the website, it said, oh, if you order it now, you'll get it by Sunday. And I thought, maybe that's a glitch because there's no way I'd get this by Sunday. It's 2 days away. And the other ones I've been waiting for like, 12 days at this point. And so I ordered it and all 3 arrived on the same day. So I'm not quite sure how that works. I do know though that there'll be slight variances in how these look, because since it's a self-publishing portion of Amazon, and when you order it, they make it to order. It's sent out to different little factories, different little companies that make them. So mine was made in Las Vegas, Nevada, and yours might be, if you order it from Australia, it might be made in Brisbane or somewhere local. So I'm not quite sure how they standardize everything, but if you see that there's a slight sheen on mine that maybe doesn't look like the same slight sheen that you have, or yours looks a little bit more matte, or maybe the trim is like a little bit different on one page to yours, just know that they all come from different independent little factories that Amazon, I guess, contract to make them. and they're all made to order. So they'll be slightly different, but they're all essentially the same thing. It's just a pre-decorated journal. Most of the background you're going to cover up with your ephemera anyway. But it's nice to know that it's there and all the beautiful colors will peek through. I'm super excited to get into it. I just need to find some time to do it, because wouldn't you know it, for the exact reason I made these journals, to save time during this season, I don't have any left today. I will be back probably about 9 p.m. after I'm finished work. Super excited to go and do the shows today. But yeah, once I'm back, I'll be working on Collage Club. I don't even know if I'm going to make my Collage Club deadline. I'm really, really pushing it. I think I could have been more effective if I had gone through my archives and I had done a little bit more scanning and pulling from the archives, but I had so many ideas that I wanted to draw up new, completely fresh for this specific month, because I just felt like they would work really well with the DecoJournal. So I don't know, I tasked myself to hand draw all these new things, and especially this advent calendar. You're probably seeing it at this point in the video because it's right at the end. This advent calendar I hand drew and then I hand digitized it all. I wanted to give you a coloring version plus a colored in version, and I love how they turned out, the little minty elves all over the Christmas boxes. I sliced them. It's not an easy slice, I'm just going to say that. I used my slice tool, which is a little ceramic blade pen tool, and I just cut out, you leave the left side to hinge, and you just cut out the box from the top, the right, and the bottom, but you can't see the full box. If you want to be very particular about it, you can use a ruler and put light guidelines that kind of match up so you can see the box before you slice it out, but I just kind of winged it because that's what I'm like. I'm lazy. I'm not lazy, I just cut corners. I'm efficient. And this is it. This is what it looks like at the end. You're probably seeing this on the screen. I stuck it on the page right at the front. I'm going to do a photo a day. These are quite small, these boxes. The actual dimensions on them are, once I printed mine out, which was an almost full page print, the box is 1.5 inches tall by 1 inch wide. So that is not very big. You'll have to print with very fine quality to get your photos in there, which is what I'll do. I'm actually just going to keep a spreadsheet on my Photoshop with little boxes that are that size, and I'm going to put my photo every day in there, and I'm going to print it all at once at the end. I'm going to stick them all in there, maybe do a little bit of journaling, maybe put a little sticker in there and just write one word about the day, how it made me feel, or like a word that's relative to the photo. I'm not quite sure, but every little door will open and we'll have a beautiful little photo from the day of December. And it goes up to 25 because I wanted to make it go to Christmas. So I'm super happy with how it turned out. I printed my colored version, but you could of course color match and have your own little fun coloring in party with that. You don't have to do a photo a day. You can do anything to kind of track along what you want to do, or you can just color it in and put it in there. You don't have to use all of this stuff. Sorry, I should probably save this conversation for Collage Club, but you don't have to use it for how it's intended. You guys are very creative and come up with very creative ideas, and there were other things that I started thinking of when I was looking at this, because I thought, oh, my mum would never do anything like this. It's so fussy. What could I suggest to people who are a little bit too don't like any fuss, that would like to be a part of it, but just don't want to deal with all the cutting and the hinging and the folding and the gluing? I thought, well, she'd probably give it a good red hot go coloring in, maybe just putting a bit of red accents everywhere, but she would probably find a way to write a little bit of what happened on each day on each of the presents. And even if there wasn't a lot of space to journal, because there's a lot of illustrations to, go around here, she would just write her words on top of it. She doesn't really care. When she did that mermaid coloring book from years ago, she would just write words all over it. And, she'll pop her hand on there and trace her hand and write words in there. So I trust and believe that people have creative visions and ideas that they want to work with, but that's what I wanted to do with mine. So you'll see that happen, and I've got to remind myself every day. I mean, I take a lot of photos, especially around Christmas, but I have to remind myself to take one specific photo each day for that purpose. And with that, I think I'll leave you. Happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for you, as per usual, as per always. And very happy that this DecoJournal is out, that I got my hands on it before Christmas, because I was worried I wasn't even gonna get it before December started, but I've got it. So I'll link that in the description box below as well. I'm working on Collage Club. If for whatever reason I need a couple of extra days to get it all finished, I'll let you know. But I am really gonna try and push for that to be finished. Yeah, really excited to start this season. And Merry Mix Media will come soon as well. I'm working on that. I have my lessons. I just have to get everything formatted, and you know the deal with that. There's always a whole bunch of back-end stuff. So I'll let you know more about that as it happens, and we'll spend a lovely holiday season together. I can officially say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays now because Thanksgiving's over. And the Americans won't kill me for saying that. I know some of you love to wait until Thanksgiving's over to start your Christmas, so here we are. I'm excited to spend the holidays with you. I'll see you again really soon. Until then, bye.